Welcome to the West Final on TSN, Calgary, Alberta, where today Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps try to get to a third straight Grey Cup game. You can't rewrite the ending unless you get to the final chapter. That is their goal today. The antagonist in the Stamps' little novella would be Adam Bighill and his Winnipeg Blue Bombers, trying to get to their first Grey Cup in 7 years and trying to become the first third-place team to get to the Grey Cup since 2005. Hard to believe it's their first playoff meeting since the Grey Cup in 2001. The West Final is next. First, your national anthem.
And Dante's teammates from the Ernest Manning High School football team joined in solidarity with Ryan's father, mother, and sister. We now ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and sing our national anthem loud and proud with Justine Tyrell for Ryan and Dante.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see they rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Everybody in Winnipeg and Calgary pumped, especially Miriam Dowdowski of Calgary. You could win groceries for a year if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in today's game, thanks to the Safeway Sobeys $1 million touchdown to win promotion. Congratulations to Miriam, and if there's another kickoff return for a TD in today's game, you could also win $1 million. The West Final, Chris and Glenn, next.
One game to get to the game. The 10-8 Bombers clash with the 13-5 Stampeders for the right to play Ottawa in the 106th Grey Cup.
Bo Levi Mitchell has not lost a playoff game here at McMahon Stadium and has won back-to-back Western Finals, throwing for just shy of 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. He's going against Matt Nichols, who got the trust and loyalty from his head coach when the team was struggling and went on a 6-game run, including a win against Calgary in late October.
And last week's West semi-final victory in Saskatchewan, Mike O'Shea's first postseason victory as a head coach, and the first for the Bombers in 7 years. On the other sideline, Dave Dickinson Stampeders in the West Final for the 7th consecutive year, trying to get to the big game for the 3rd straight year, 5th in 7, and set up a 2016 rematch with the Red Blacks. These two teams split the regular season series. Calgary won here 39-26, Winnipeg 29-21. 3 weeks ago, the West Final is underway. Winnipeg with the football, and this is Charles Nelson on the return. And Nelson contained before he reaches the 30-yard line. Calgary won the toss. Matt Nichols and the Bombers get the football first. And as you mentioned, Matt Nichols on a roll, having won 6 consecutive games.
And 7 if you count the Western semifinal against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Not huge numbers, but didn't need them. The offense threw Andrew Harris again in that game, who had 153 rushing yards.
So Winnipeg starts at the 28-yard line. A quick hitter here, intended for Dinsky. Incomplete pass behind him with Jamar Wall in coverage. We'll set this Winnipeg offense for you.
Leading rusher led the way in that semifinal. I mentioned 153 yards rushing for Andrew Harris, and Harris, of course, was the leading rusher in the Canadian Football League this year. He'll give credit to his offensive line, the interior of which all three have got to stop one guy here this afternoon. That's Micah Johnson for the Calgary Stampeders.
Highest scoring team in the league during the regular season. Best rushing team during the regular season. 2nd and 10, and Weston Dressler has a catch, but he'll be well short underneath, as Dressler made 4 catches last week for 53 yards, has his 54th career reception, but a 2-and-out to start for the Blue Bombers. Temperature 4 degrees, which is terrific for this time of year. Wind did start to blow up here, and an indication it may gust up to 40 clicks an hour this afternoon. Right now it looks like it's slightly at the back of Justin Medlock. Romar Morris back, and that kick will bounds around the 21-yard line, so no return for Romar Morris. Good boot by Justin Medlock. And here comes for Levi Mitchell, 13 and 5 during the regular year. His career record against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is 10 and 2.
Well, threw for over 5,000 yards in a year where he lost his entire starting receiving corps to injury. Remarkable feat. Over 5,000 again, and one of the reasons that he is a finalist for Outstanding Player in the Canadian Football League.
The 54-yard boot by Medlock, so Calgary starts at their 22. Todd Jackson, the running back, 4th in the league in that department, and he meets up for the first time and not the last with Adam Bighill.
Well, it was a tough decision, but they go with Eric Rogers, who isn't completely healthy in the receiving corps, ahead of Bakari Grant or DeVaris Daniels, as the guys talked about in the pregame show. And you take a look at their offensive line, maybe the most underrated offensive lineman in the league is Shane Bergman. Dennis was an all-star. Bergman should have been at left guard.
2nd highest scoring team, led the league in passing touchdowns, 2nd and 6. 4-man rush, and they throw downfield for Richard Sindani, and the pass is incomplete, so both teams will start 2 and out. Looked like Sindani turned the wrong way on that route for his quarterback. Rookie out of the Calgary Dinos.
Calgary Stampeders won the toss and deferred. This is why Winnipeg started with the football and the wind at their back in this first quarter.
So there, Charles Nelson played just the final regular season game. Mike O'Shea liked him enough to consider him for the West Semi and has put him into this game for his special teams prowess. Maver went down, but no flag. A 47-yard punt by Rob Maver. And here's Nelson trying to get to the outside. And Charles Nelson up over the 50-yard line. Good field position for the Blue Bombers. There's Andrew Harris, the league's leading rusher. And a huge game in the West Semi against the Saskatchewan Roughriders with 153 yards on the ground. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Well, you just saw it. CFL playoff record, 57 is the longest playoff field goal ever, eclipsing the 56-yard mark by Bernie Ruoff back in 1984. So the Stamps take charge at their own 35. Take to Don Jackson. And a wide open receiver, Markeith Ambles, left uncovered. And he'll be bumped out at the Bomber bench, but in Winnipeg territory. 24-yard connection from Mitchell to Ambles.
Well, Levi Mitchell yesterday in his press conference basically gave away a little bit of how he reads defenses and his progression, saying he likes to start with the deep ball and work his way back from there. So if he sees an open receiver, in this case, Markeith Ambles, he's going to go there first. Ambles busting the Bomber secondary.
Ambles with touchdowns in 4 consecutive games. One of the reasons he stays in the lineup. Bombers stack that up. Big Jake Thomas in the middle of that rushing play as we set the Winnipeg defense.
Craig Rowe will start at defensive end, but will rotate with Jackson Jeffcoat, was arguably the defensive player of the game versus Saskatchewan in the semi a week ago. Adam Bighill, no way you're keeping him out of this game, but he'll play with a cast on that left hand. Dislocation in last week's semifinal. And Mr. Everything, Kevin Fogg in the corner. Few less returns here this afternoon.
Looks like the Bombers were offside. Mitchell steps up. He's looking deep again. And incomplete, intended for Eric Rogers. The safety, Taylor Loeffler, was there, and a couple of flags to sort out here. Looked like the Bombers were offside, and one in the Winnipeg secondary. Well, he told you his first read is long, and we've seen evidence of that on the last couple of passing plays.
Yeah, he led the league in shots down the field at 30 yards or more, with 39 of them. Loves the deep ball and trusts his receivers down the field.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 22. That penalty is declined. Leo contact on a receiver. Winnipeg, number 4. That's a 10-yard penalty. Remaining second down.
So Bighill flagged for illegal contact, and you've seen the cast. Looks like more of a thumb issue. We were first told dislocated finger, and you'll see immediate evidence of it here.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter against Saskatchewan in the semi. Helped up, cast it up. Foam over the cast, and no way you're keeping him out of this game.
No second and short after the penalty. And the slant is caught by Rogers. It's a Calgary first down at the Winnipeg 24-yard line.
Rogers on the quick slant here, and Bo Levi Mitchell gets him in the window just before he gets to that linebacker, Adam Bighill, that's kind of patrolling the middle but caught a little bit shallow on the slant route. 16-yard gain for Eric Rogers.
Didn't play the final game of the regular season, has had 3 weeks to get healthy. 15 catches in his previous 4 games. And here's Jackson trying to get to the right side. And Bighill there again to bump him out of bounds. So Bighill third in the league in tackles, Singleton number 1, and both middle linebackers talked a lot about the other guy in the lead up to this game and how much they admire each other's play.
Tremendous mutual respect between the two. Adam Bighill's done such a nice job this year.
Face mask. Calgary, number 25. 15 yards in the end of the play. It'll be second down.
So a face mask call on the running back, Don Jackson.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. The running backs allowed that stiff arm. Andrew Harris loves the stiff arm as one of his go-to moves, but he got the face mask of Adam Bighill and then kept pulling it and hanging on to it and dragged him along with him, and Bighill gets the tackle and gets him out of bounds. But this is the type of play that Adam Bighill will make. Watch him float the football, scrape, beat the block of one of the best guards in the league in Shane Bergman, and get outside to Don Jackson.
Penalty after the play, it's 2nd and 25. Mitchell shows you his escapability. Downfield it goes, and knocked out of bounds by Marcus Sales, the fine rookie DB of the Bombers. It'll be third down.
Yeah, nominee for outstanding rookie at big game against the Calgary Stampeders in the Winnipeg win in late October. This Winnipeg secondary is going to have to stick with their man beyond the normal amount of time, because when Bo negotiates the pocket and gets outside, he is looking for the deep ball, as we've seen early in this one.
Rene Paredes surveying what will be a 45-yard attempt into the wind. He's 17 of 19 in playoff action. Puts this one up, and you can see the wind take it wide. Is Fogg bringing it out? He is. Kevin Fogg up across the 20 and more. And he'll get by Paredes. And finally dragged down across the 40-yard line. That's the danger of missing a long field goal attempt. And against the wind, Paredes unable to put it through the uprights. So Matt Nichols with a 3-point lead, 2-2 in his playoff career.
In the playoffs, 3 with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and when you take a look at the numbers, they are truly outstanding and should be more wins attached to it, with 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and over 300 yards per game. He's putting up big numbers. Now he's looking for that win.
2 completions so far today, including his 100th in playoff action. And he'll swing this out to Harris. Andrew Harris trying to beat Jamar Wall, but the veteran Jamar Wall, 7-year man, able to contain Harris, who's had more success as a receiver against Calgary than as a running back.
Yeah, I just thought it was a great turnaround when Coach Mike O'Shea decided to stick with Matt Nichols with a young and dynamic Chris Strevler as the backup in Winnipeg with a great future in front of him. The fan base really wanted to see Strevler when they lost 4 straight in mid-August and early September. O'Shea stuck with Matt Nichols. Matt Nichols went 6-0.
2nd and 5. Adams, sideline pattern, knocked out of bounds by Trey Roberson. Forward progress going to be close. Looks like just shy of the first down stick.
And he got back to his game. And Matt Nichols, of all the quarterbacks we interview year in, year out in this game, Matt Nichols hates the interception more than any of them. And during that slide, he threw 8. Just uncharacteristic of his game. Got back on track and threw 8 touchdowns and just 1 pick in the 6-game win streak.
4 of those interceptions were to defensive linemen, including 2 against Jagarrett Davis. 3rd and inches, Strevler's in, and a plunge off the left side, and he's got it with a couple of yards to spare with flags down. And does Calgary have too many men on the field?
I asked Coach O'Shea yesterday, how tough of a decision?
Calgary, it's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Wow.
Winnipeg.
There were 3 different flags in the Calgary secondary there, which
they all counted up. Yeah. Yep. But I asked O'Shea, I said, how tough of a decision was it? He says, not at all. He said, I took my time explaining it to the fan base. But the decision to stick with Matt Nichols, even with Chris Strevler as his backup, was not an easy one. Not hard at all. He said he'd earned the right to lead this team.
But as you can see, they have incorporated Strevler in the offense. We saw it last week, and he is going to take off here. Strevler cut down. Nice sure tackle by Singleton, showing you his credentials for the league lead in tackles this year.
Well, this entire Calgary defense may be the best in the league across the board at tackling. I mean, his sidekick, Jameer Thurman, one of the best at it. Alex Singleton with 123, leading the league in tackles. They just don't miss much.
Well, that was a theme yesterday. Tackle as a group of 12. 3-yard pickup by Strevler, 2nd and 7, gunned in over the middle, and Dressler's got the catch and is right at the first down mark.
Well, that's Matt Nichols understanding the situation, the coverage, and the tight window he had to fit that ball in, because this is a fastball from 15. He knows he doesn't have much time. He's throwing right to the spot right here, and he's got to get it there quickly, because you could see the Calgary defenders closing.
Needed 7, went to 7, and Paul Lapalese has his offense on the march. First down, Calgary 40, and it's Harris. Inside run, and he pounds for 6. Jameer Thurman, the tackle. Mentioned Harris with 153 last week, 89 in the 4th quarter.
Watch Paul Lapalese with a lot of misdirection here. He's going with Dembski going this direction, and then Andrew Harris hitting it between the tackles. There goes Dembski across the street. That could hold a defender for a split second, giving a little bubble to Andrew Harris.
Harris with 1 game of 86 yards rushing against Calgary this year. His best has never run for over 100. And now it's Dembski with the carry and down around the 30, close to another Winnipeg first down. Dembski rushed for 248 this year.
Had a good game in Winnipeg against the Calgary Stampeders in that late October win. Maybe matched up here against Jamar Wall. We'll see. He's often that fifth receiver out of the backfield, but can run the ball effectively. Been a big part of this Bomber offense in the second half of the year.
Short-yarded group comes back on, 3rd and inches. So it's Strebler and company. The Buffalo boys hunkered down, and they get another good push and another Bomber first down.
Well, he's thick too. I mean, not only the guys up front who have 3 divisional all-stars in that offensive line for the Bombers that took control at the second half in Saskatchewan in the semi, but Strebler is at 215 himself, 6'1". Good power in those legs to get that extra yard he needs in short yardage. But boy, was it fun to watch those big guys take control of that game. You're a fan of the run game, fan of a good solid battle in the trenches. Last week, Winnipeg Blue Bombers did a nice job.
Nichols back in, has some time, gonna take a shot. Adams is open, and the ball sailed on him. Looked like the wind took that one on a wide open Darvin Adams.
It did. He had him open. And the ball was a tight spiral coming out of the hand of Matt Nichols. Watch a look at the route here and how he gets open on Deontay Evans. Little double move. Evans takes the wide receiver in the zone look, and look how wide open he is. Calgary defender just to the left of your screen. Here's the throw, and I think the wind did take it. Just sailed on him. Adams couldn't track it down.
Had a huge game in the last meeting. 5 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. 10 touchdowns on the year for Adams. 2nd and 10. The screen is beautifully read. The ball popped loose. They're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, Jamar Wall made that play. He jumps up here and makes the play. And Wall, on that last play that they just missed, Darvin Adams, he was talking to his teammates, trying to get them set up properly, because that was a bust in the coverage for Calgary that Winnipeg couldn't take advantage of because of the wind. And Jamar Wall comes up and makes the play on 2nd down. He got him lined up right and then stepped up, made a nice hit. Veteran of 7 years, all with the Calgary Stampeders.
Different position this year now at the Sam linebacker spot. 57 the first time. This time it's from 37 yards out, and Medlock has doubled the size of the Bomber lead. When we come back, Sarah Oleski with more on the 2 quarterbacks who go back to their same college roots. Battle of quarterbacks from Eastern Washington, 2 former Eagles. One was the recruiter, Matt Nichols, the other the recruit, and these 2 go back and have distinguished college careers with Eastern Washington. And with more, here's Sarah.
Well, Chris, you have to think there are going to be a lot of people tuning in Cheney, Washington for this game. Which one they're cheering for? Up for some debate, I suppose. Well, as you mentioned, the bond between these 2 goes beyond just having both been star quarterbacks for the Eagles. When Mitchell went on his recruiting trip, it was actually Matt Nichols that was one of his hosts, and while they never played together, the friendship continued to develop over the years. And they've continued to hear from coaches throughout the last couple of weeks wishing the 2 of them luck. Now, as much as they're friends off the field, and there's a great deal of mutual respect, of course, as soon as the game started, that's all put aside and they're just strictly opponents. Nichols said that there's nothing he would like more than today to beat Mitchell here in this game and book his own ticket through to his first Grey Cup game.
And CFL stats man Steve Daniel tells us it's the first time in the playoffs in 66 years 2 quarterbacks from the same school are facing each other. There's Jackson Jeffcoat with a sack of Bo Levi Mitchell. Public enemy number 1 in Saskatchewan has them cheering in Manitoba.
Yes, he does. Jackson Jeffcoat, as I mentioned off the top, Arguably the defensive player of that semifinal game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with a couple sacks and that big hit on Brandon Bridge that cost him in the pocketbook, but didn't prohibit him from playing in this final here this afternoon.
Monster game, 2 sacks, 3 tackles, a knockdown, and yes, a controversial hit on Brandon Bridge. Mitchell in trouble again, and Greg Rowe able to get him back-to-back sacks for the Blue Bombers defense.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
4 sacks in the Western Semi and back-to-back here against Mitchell.
Working one-on-one on the All-Star Derek Dennis at tackle, and does a nice job, Dennis, of holding him off initially, and then when Bo tries to get out of that pocket, he chases him down from behind.
Final play of the quarter, Maver has to boot it into the wind, the line drive kick, and here's Charles Nelson. Back across the 50, Tunde Adeleke with the special teams tackle.
Chelsea, that's for you and Whitney. It's for you, Chelsea.
That's the final play. The Bombers used the wind. A drive that lasted over 6 minutes to get their second field goal after a 57-yarder to start. And it's 6-0 after 1 quarter for the Bombers. Saw the wind be a factor on maybe that pass to Darvin Adams and the Rennie Paredes field goal attempt, and with the wind, it's Winnipeg with the lead.
Well, it helped Justin Medlock on that long one as well on the field goal, but a couple of observations in that first quarter. First, just 2 carries for 11 yards for Andrew Harris, so the Bombers haven't gone to a steady diet of Andrew Harris just yet. And the other observation I would have is that it looked like Bo Levi Mitchell, I know he loves the deep ball, he was #1 in the league in that 30-plus throws, but he may be looking for it too much in that first quarter and go back to running the offense. Calgary getting the run game involved with Don Jackson and those intermediate to short throws just to keep moving the chains, because time of possession leaning towards Winnipeg right now.
The game within the game, Mitchell and Calgary lead the league in big plays passing, but Winnipeg defensively has allowed the fewest this season. So Winnipeg starts the second quarter with the ball. Little direct snap to Andrew Harris with Matt Nichols busting calls, and Harris runs straight ahead into Calgary territory down to the 45-yard line.
And the Oscar goes to Matt Nichols for supporting actor on this one, because he steps out here and watch number 15 step out and just try and get the attention of as many defenders as he can. He's over there going, hey guys, hey, come over here. And then direct snap to Andrew Harris, catches that Calgary defense off guard.
16-yard run. Harris with 27 so far on the ground. First down, 45-yard line. And in trouble, Mike Johnson.
There he goes.
Shuts that down, and Calgary's on the board with a sack.
Talked about how important that matchup's going to be. The interior of the offensive line against Micah Johnson. And Micah Johnson right here is going to beat the double team one more time. And he's done it all season long. Steps inside. He's got tackle help. That didn't matter. Went right through that double team and gets to Matt Nichols. What a season for number 4.
Had a sack in each regular season game against Winnipeg. When I heard about the nastiest guy in the league, I must admit I thought about him first. Tyree Sedair got the honors. Pass for Harris incomplete. And the punt team has to come on.
I might go with tenacious. I might go with powerful. I mean, he's got so many different moves. Devon Claybrooks has a leader in the middle of his defense, and then you go back there, the triangle. He, Junior Turner, and Derek Wiggins side by side with Alex Singleton behind him. That's why Andrew Harris has struggled against Calgary at times in the run game, and that's why they are so good on defense. It starts there.
And when I say nasty, I am being very complimentary.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. I just don't want to get Mr. Johnson. I don't want you to get in trouble with Micah.
Medlock with the boot, and he kicks it away from Romar Morris. And Daniels hit right into the corner. No yards flagged, but that'll only be 5 after a 41-yard punt that pins Calgary deep. Winnipeg defense has to deal with Chris Matthews, Eric Rogers. With our man on the sidelines, let's check in with Davis Sanchez.
Yeah, CC, the kids, so you know the kids these days, nasty's a good thing. So you and Suits are both nasty. But I talked to Randall, the cornerback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I asked him how they're going to handle Chris Matthews out there, the big body on the short side of the field. And he's so surprisingly, he actually said it depends on what happens with Eric Rogers. And I said, why? He said, last time they played, Eric Rogers was not himself. They didn't need to move any coverage over to him and help with him at all. If it's the same and he's not at full speed again, they can put all the coverage and all the help over to Matthews on the outside there and move away from the inside slot receiver.
Right on the ground here, and Big Hill takes down Don Jackson after a good burst on first down. 9-yard pickup for Jackson.
It's interesting that because Eric Rogers has such the great playoff reputation. I mean, in the big games, Eric Rogers is a money player. So I'm not surprised that Winnipeg is going to take a look at his health, see where he's at and running routes. Take a look at his numbers in the 3 playoff games or postseason games, because one of them includes a Grey Cup where he had 5 for 108 back in 2014. One of the reasons that, that Dave Dickinson decided to go with Eric, the other is how good he is in postseason.
Short yardage, double tight end formation. That should be enough for a first down. It is stunning to look back at last year's Western Final stats. Dave Dickinson does not have any player in the lineup who caught a pass or even was targeted in last year's Western Final victory. That's how much change, for the most part, because of injury, the Stampeders have gone through this year.
Well, Eric Rogers missed 9 games this season. Chris Matthews has just started the last 4. So that's the other deep threat for Calgary.
First down, Mitchell throwing to the wide side. There's Matthews, bumped out by a former Stampeder and a veteran, Chris Randall. But this is what they are missing. Kamar Jordan with 249 yards in 1 game against Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's an all-star team that's on the injured list right now. Over 2,500 combined yards, and not available to Bo Levi Mitchell in this playoff game, and 19 touchdowns. Kamar Jordan, that big game, as you mentioned, over 200 against Winnipeg. But Chris Matthews played his best game of the 4 starts against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And from what I've seen so far in this one, Eric Rogers looks like he's running those smooth routes that we're used to seeing for Eric Rogers. So that could put more of a bind on the Bomber secondary. We'll follow it, as Davis Sanchez will, on the sideline as well.
And as Dave Naylor and Farhan Lalji reported earlier, DeVaris Daniels was close as he tries to come back off a broken collarbone. There's Mitchell over the middle, and Lamar Durant's got a catch. And a first down in the Winnipeg territory at the Bomber 49-yard line.
Now, Lamar Durant's been targeted 51 times this season, and his 2 best games were against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, over 60 yards in both of them. For some reason, you just get in that zone against certain teams.
Stamps go tempo here, and Mitchell taking a shot. Got an open target. Robar Morris down the sidelines. And is he out? They're going to mark him out. There is a flag down. And is it coming back?
Is this going to be a pick or a rub downfield?
Pass interference by the offense, Calgary, number 81. It's a 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
It is Chris Matthews called on the pick.
Well, that's Chris Matthews out here. Take a look as he's going to come down, and he's going to pick on Ian Wild, who's playing for Santos Knox again in this game, and he picks right there. Doesn't let Wild get to his coverage. That's a pick. That's a call, the correct call by the officials. Dave Dickinson doesn't like it, but...
And he threw the challenge flag in disgust.
Calgary is challenging the previous play for offensive pass interference. Well, we'll review the play.
I know that Dickinson doesn't want to use his challenge here, but Chris Matthews got to try and sell that, be a better actor down the field.
So a major decision pending on the Dickinson challenge. For the 106th Grey Cup in Edmonton next weekend, we'll have Grey Cup Saturday from noon till 6 o'clock, and our coverage of the big game begins at 1 o'clock.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Pass interference by the offense. Calgary has charged their first team timeout. It'll be first down.
Here it is one more time. There is Chris Matthews, and watch how he brings the flipper. It's the right hand, and he's going to hit Ian Wild rather than just run his route through Ian Wild and make it a little more nonchalant. He gives him the forearm and doesn't sell it enough.
First and 20, and Dave Dickinson doesn't have another challenge. That pass is caught over the middle. There's Sindani, the rookie, with a catch to get the penalty yards and a little bit more back, and set Calgary up into second and manageable.
Yeah, got a big chunk. Second and short. Right in that slot back position. And just gets in behind the linebacking core, and the ball arrives.
Again, a 7th round draft choice who made a stacked Calgary team, has made a contribution. Knows all the receiver positions. Sets up second and 3. To the outside, pass caught, first down, and Matthews taken down by Marcus Sales.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a great response to losing the challenge, getting in first in a whole bunch, and Bo Levi Mitchell just goes back to work and doesn't let it affect him at all. He just steps back up, makes a nice throw to Sindani, and then one to Chris Matthews, gets a new set of downs. Outstanding back-to-back plays.
This drive started on the Calgary 18. First down, Winnipeg 35-yard line. Here's Jackson. Then he gets cut down by Big Hill. Excuse me, Romar Morris, the ball carrier.
Yeah, they're rotating in and out, Don Jackson and Romar Morris, and it's a tough decision. Terry Williams is close. Little Nick maybe play next week if Calgary advances to the Grey Cup.
Man, Williams so good on punt returns with 3 touchdowns this year. So second and 7, Jackson back in. And the 10th play of the drive. Mitchell underneath. Sindani again, and Taylor Loeffler there to bring him down. It's going to be close to the first down. Looks like 3rd and 1.
Interesting decision here. It just, after that first quarter and Bo looking down the field for the big play, I think they've really settled in now offensively. Running the offense, getting the run game involved, whether it be Morris or Jackson. And this will be the first difficult decision for Dave Dickinson, although rule of thumb, if you're inside a yard, you're going to go get it, especially in plus territory.
So Nick Arbuckle has checked in with the Stampeders short yardage group.
They were 19 of 22 in these situations in the regular season.
Watch the ball. 50 reports.
So 3rd and just under a yard.
50. Back here. Back here.
In behind Ducombre Williams, he got it in extra yardage off the left side behind Gene Berkman.
Yes, sir.
Who you mentioned, he was on my All-Star ballot. But
well, he was on mine as well, and you know, just watching him through the last 3 years, I realized the stat that has not been mentioned when it comes to Shane Bergman. He has given up 3 sacks in 3 years at left guard for the Calgary Stampeders. I started to think not a lot of people across the country, when you're talking all-star O-linemen, talk about Bergman.
And the Stamps feel he's their best run blocker, but he helps pave the way for first down. Mitchell takes a shot here, incomplete. Trying to connect with Markeith Ambles.
Mitchell throws it to a spot on the field here and tries to get it to that spot well before Markeith Ambles makes his break to the corner. That ball's en route as he's coming out of his break, which is where you want it, because it's almost impossible to cover. Even if you're in the hip pocket of the receiver, difficult to cover. The ball's thrown to that spot, but it's just a little bit off.
Chandler Finner, an extra DB, has checked into the game. Pressure coming. Mitchell got it away, and it's caught by Ambles, brought down by Marcus Sales. And it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down.
Boy, he's great. As good as I've seen in the last decade at subtly avoiding the rush. Just buying time. A second here, stepping up, negotiating the pocket, and finding a throwing line.
Gets the first down. 14th play of the drive. Calgary, surprisingly, 6th in the red zone this year. And Longley unable to grab that. Fourth-year fullback out of Sherbrooke, unable to make the catch.
And just flat-out drop here. It happens. Pretty good coverage anyway. You'll see a bomber show up quickly to the right of your screen. May have got 2 or 3 on the play.
Stamps have had the ball for almost 8 minutes. Working at another 2nd and 10. Short drop over the middle. Rogers, touchdown. Mitchell to Rogers, capping a long Calgary scoring drive.
Coming on the slant route from the right of your screen, he's going to work in tandem with Chris Matthews. Matthews runs down the rail, Rogers into the middle, splits the deep defender, who in this case happened to be Adam Bighill. But a great throw and catch, and what a drive for Bo Levi Mitchell over 8 minutes. Remember, they were at one point in second in real long, or first in real long after the challenge lost.
The only thing that went wrong on the drive was they lost a challenge, but still went 15 plays, 92 yards in 8:04. And they have the lead on the convert from Rennie Paredes. Pitch and catch. Mitchell to Rogers. And the Stamps have a 1-point lead in this Western final. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by BDC, the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs. So Eric Rogers caps an impressive 92-yard scoring drive, and the Stampeders have their first lead of the day.
Smooth route running from Eric Rogers against a zone look by the Bombers, but even zones turn into man. Eric Rogers got inside position.
Paredes kicks it off. It will be Charles Nelson from his 2. And the newcomer with a flag down is dropped before he reaches the 20-yard line. Adeleke on the tackle.
He's in that illegal block area, the flag, which would put Winnipeg in more of a hole here.
Now it's going to be a long field for Matt Nichols and company.
On the return, holding, Winnipeg, number 41. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Abu Kante.
Watch the smooth route running here from Eric Rogers. See, as Marcus Sales is inside position, Rogers wants to get inside of him. So watch this little stem. Stutter step there. He goes up the field 3 steps. Now he's got inside position that he wants. Watch that stutter step again. Plant that right foot, inside position, get inside shade on Sales. And now he's opened up the throwing lane for Bo Levi Mitchell. And the route took the deep safety, who was Adam Bighill in this case, out of the play because he had Chris Matthews on the outside going deep.
Mitchell led the league in touchdown passes with 35. That's a big run here by Andrew Harris to get the Bombers out of a hole as he drives across the 20 after the first down play that began on the 5.
Well, that's big. That's big because you felt the momentum shift. And after the big long drive by Bo Levi Mitchell that started in 1st and 20 after the lost challenge, a 19-yard gain by Andrew Harris, but one of those gains that inspires his teammates. Breaking tackles, spinning out of the grasp of great tacklers in this Calgary defense.
Just his 4th carry of the game. Nichols on a roll is going to throw that one away. Harris 4 for 43. Cordero Law was putting on the heat.
Matt Nichols told us yesterday that game scenarios and game situations, game management is always going through his mind. He said he's always looking down in situations, not just calling the play and thinking about how to execute it. He's at that next level where he's thinking about game situation. I would suggest this 2nd and long is a very important one. I know it's still first half, but it's a biggie as far as momentum goes.
Just 1 for 7 on 2nd down conversions. They were 63% last week. And Nichols pulls that one down and gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more.
Both these quarterbacks will do that, but not often.
So we've hit the 3-minute warning. Bombers are going to have to punt the football away. Calgary by 1.
I've been having dreams.
Nothing back in Calgary where fans getting into it. Momentum has changed a little bit in the Stamps direction. We're coming up at halftime. Davis Sanchez is here, 3-time Grey Cup champion. Plus, we'll check in with Rod and the boys from Ottawa, where Trevor Harris went nuts. Deontay Spencer joined the panel. It was mayhem, CC.
How about Trevor Harris?
Oh, yeah, what a game. Congrats to Ottawa. Punch their ticket.
6 touchdown passes, 450 yards of offense, and a ticket to Edmonton. Here's Justin Medlock. High move, but not deep against that wind, and it's going to bounce back on Winnipeg. And that's going to be a no yards penalty and terrific field position, a short field. Omar Morris is down, and he was back to await the punt, and something happened to him as he tried to make a play on the football.
Well, let's take a look at what happened to Morris. He just drops back, lining it up, and just, wow, something gave out there.
Well, when you see that, the first thing you think of is Achilles, and we hope that's not the case.
Winnipeg.
But that's where he reached.
5-yard penalty, first down, Calgary.
Straight for that Achilles.
Boy, we've had that injury so often in recent years. And so Morris to the sidelines. So they're down a running back
and a returner. And Don Jackson's the starting tailback, so he'll carry the load there offensively.
And Tunde Adeleke was also back on that last punt return. By the way, the no yards penalty makes it a net of only 16 yards on that punt. So that's the good news for Calgary. The bad news is that they've lost a big weapon in Omar Morris. So with 2:39 on the clock, they start in Winnipeg territory. Bomber 42-yard line. And handed off to Jackson off the left side. Then crashed down around the 35. 7 for Jackson, who will have to carry the load himself.
Looked right at Dave Dickinson after that run and said, keep feeding me. Just keep feeding me. He runs violently, Don Jackson.
Hey, go now. Hey, go.
One of those backs that looks for contact.
Second down, that pass is caught by Rogers. Brandon Alexander over the top. The Stampeders won the coin toss here with Brett the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there'll ever be, getting the Stampeder fans revved up.
The best there was, and the best there ever will be. Go, Stamps, go! Go, Stamps, go! Go, Stamps, go! Go, Stamps, go!
But it won't be a cage match between Ric Flair and Bret Hart. We know that next week. Calgary native. Here's Matthews, got away! Slipped running down the sidelines for Chris Matthews.
Boy, for a big tall target, 6'5", 228. He's got some sweet feet. Makes a couple guys miss down the rail here after this out route thrown on time from Bo Levi Mitchell. Now watch the moves. Little inside cut on Adam Bighill. Doesn't miss many tackles. Nice 22-yard gain for 81.
So the Stamps get right back into the red zone. Super Bowl MVP contender a few years back, trying to get to the Grey Cup game. From the 8, right back to Rogers, touchdown! Back-to-back majors from Mitchell to Rogers. His fourth playoff game, Eric Rogers scoring his 6th and 7th touchdowns.
And that's why Dave Dickinson went with him. It's been a tough season physically for Eric Rogers because he's not been 100%. But he is money in the playoffs, money in the postseason, and back-to-back touchdown catches for number 15.
Hey, Rob.
First a 15-play drive, and that one just a 4-play drive after the short punt. 42-yard touchdown march. Beretta's the convert, and it's an 8-point Calgary lead.
And the Bomber defense, I'm sure Richie Hall at halftime will talk to the secondary for Winnipeg and say, especially in plus territory, you better take inside position in this easier throw away from Eric Rogers. He's in back-to-back slant routes inside. This time it's Chris Randall in coverage, but watch how Randall opens the gate. He's got his hips open so that he's giving away the inside, which is the easier throw for Mitchell to get it right over the middle, direct line to his receiver. Back-to-back touchdown throws for Bo Levi Mitchell. A little selfie action there, a little.
So Winnipeg with a couple of field goals to start, but back-to-back touchdowns for Calgary. And the Bombers with a minute 46 to change the score here in this first half.
To the iPad, they're trying to find the answer, and the answer is take away the inside. If he's going to run a corner route, there goes Morris. If he's going to run the corner route, then it's a tougher throw to complete.
Charles Nelson from inside the 5. Trying to set things up for Nichols. And bounced through the initial wave and is finally tossed down by Wynton McManus up around the 25-yard line.
Crucial drive for Eastern Washington's Matt Nichols now. And where is Eastern Washington? Eagles play in Cheney, Washington, which is about 15 minutes outside of Spokane. Just over 400 miles away from McMahon Stadium here in Calgary. And somewhere Bo Baldwin, who was both head coach for Bo Levi Mitchell and Matt Nichols, is smiling watching them two go at it in this one.
Also tutored Mike Riley, Vernon Adams. So you've got fingerprints on the Canadian Football League. There's a completion to Darvin Adams in front of Jameer Thurman. And a 9-yard pickup to get this Winnipeg drive started.
Baldwin currently the offensive coordinator at Cal.
Second and short. And Harris. I don't think he's going to get there. Now there's a decision to be made. Junior Turner with the stop. And it's going to be, well, it might even be 2. Let's see if they give him anything beyond the 35. The 3rd and a yard. And Mike O'Shea's going to punt the football away.
It's a long yard. But remember last week, we talked about the domination up front from this offensive line for Winnipeg. This time, Junior Turner and Derek Wiggin step up and close it down.
Couple of national defensive tackles. Adeleke replacing Omar Morris. Just one man back. Was a yard and a half, but Mike O'Shea's not going to gamble. A 35-yard punt, and Adeleke's going to get outside. And Tunde Adeleke with a flag down is still going. Adeleke's going to run it into the end zone, but it looks like it's coming back.
Well, if you're a Stamps fan wondering, with Morris out, who's going to return kicks? How about that guy? How about Adeleke?
They had 4 punt return touchdowns during the regular season.
In front of their bench! Why are all the penalties in front of Mike O'Shea? The Canadians!
On the return, holding, Calgary, number 0. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Deontay Evans flagged for the hold. And it takes a touchdown off the board.
Deontay Evans. Wow, that's marginal.
Well, it couldn't be Evans. The flag just came down. Even though they did.
Unless they got the number wrong, because they announced,
came out late.
Yeah, they announced Deontay Evans, but it didn't look like there was holding there. I mean, there was a little bit of hand fighting going on, like defensive back and receiver.
Oh, there it is on Emmanuel Davis.
That's Emmanuel Davis. That's 8 is the penalty, and that is a holding.
Back at the 32, they'll swing this out, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jackson out of the backfield. 12 first downs in the first half for Mitchell and the Stampeders. And 180 net yards of offense.
A little bit of edge to the words between Don Jackson and Bo Levi Mitchell after that miss. A little bit of playoff intensity between the two teammates.
Incompletion stopped the clock. So 2nd and 10, Winnipeg could get it back as they throw deep. And too far for Sindani. And the Bombers will get the football back. 3 2-and-outs in the first half for Calgary.
The first one, I just want to touch. So you get a turn here.
Well, halftime adjustments will be interesting. Matt Nichols. Seen a lot of Weston Dressler in this first half, and go to those crossing routes a little bit more. Gets this Calgary defense getting manageable 2nd down situations.
Nelson awaits at the Winnipeg 30-yard line. After 33, a 45-yard Beaver punt, and Nelson tumbles across the 45. 47-yard line, flag down on the play, and 26 seconds remaining. going against Calgary. So they're going to move up. And
well, that gives Matt Nichols a shot here at field goal range before the half.
These two teams, the least penalized in the league this year. Winnipeg #1 in that department in consecutive years. And the Stampeders with only 40 yards of penalties more than the Bombers this season. So discipline has not been an issue.
On the return, illegal block, Winnipeg, number 43. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down, Winnipeg.
Well, he pointed one way and then signaled that the penalty was going the other.
Yeah, not many times you get a illegal block from the cover team, and that's Calgary's position here. They're the cover team. There's the illegal block by Jeff Heck, pushing them back. Now there's a discussion with the official.
Yeah, there's another flag that they haven't picked up yet. Well, I guess they've got it all sorted out now. Now Mike O'Shea's got to decide what tack to take with 26 seconds to go. They just kill the clock at the 33-yard line or take a shot?
A shot to Darvin Adams here.
Take at least one shot here. Anybody open? Michael Johnson's on the prowl, and Nichols will throw it away.
To show you why Matt Nichols didn't go to Darvin Adams down the sideline. Darvin Adams is down here at the bottom of your screen, and one of the great veterans in this game is playing the outside third here in Brandon Smith, defensive halfback. It's got all kinds of experience, and he takes away Darvin Adams on the deep throw, forcing Matt Nichols to roll out the opposite direction.
11 years, 12 playoff game. Been in all the cups since 2008. Drop play Harris. And Harris taken down by Thurman. And the Bombers will run out the clock here in the opening half.
Controlling your emotions is going to be, I'm sure, a point of emphasis for both these coaches at halftime. Playoff intensity is one thing, but focusing that intensity in the right direction is another, and not letting it get the best out of you. So Micah Johnson's letting that offensive line in Winnipeg know that this is a different story than last week.
Just 6 completions for Nichols. Only 86 yards of offense in the opening half for the Bombers, who had a 6-0 lead. But back-to-back touchdowns from Mitchell to Rogers in the second quarter. And Calgary with a 14-6 lead at the half. As we head down to the sidelines, here's James Duthie.
All right, thank you. James Duthie back with Davis Sanchez here in Calgary for your halftime. Rod in the panel standing by as well. Slow start really offensively for both teams, particularly the Calgary Stampeders, but they really get it going in that second quarter. Davis, what happened? What changed? All that fuss about who was going to play, in particular at receiver for the Stamps. Clearly there was no bad choice, and the choices they made paid off early. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 58 rushing yards. That's not enough to get you to the Grey Cup. Eric Rogers has 41 yards receiving himself and 2 TDs. Sarah Oleski's with Mr. November.
Eric, it seems like you picked up right where you left off the last division final that you were in. What have you liked about your matchup in that opening half?
You know, me and Bo have chemistry on those type of routes, especially in the red zone. But you know, I'm more focused on we're taking points off the board. You know, and it's unfortunate, but we're still up. We get the ball at half. Hopefully, come out and get some points.
So, what is going to be the focus for you then? Do you think in the third quarter, with it being only an 8-point lead?
This ball security for defense is make sure they tackle, play with their eyes. Offense, we want to stop hurting ourselves. We're getting penalties. We're overcoming them right now, but we can't. We're making it harder than what it really should be, and it's unfortunate, but we have another 30 minutes to go, and hopefully come out with a W.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Thank you.
Well, the Bombers had a terrific second half last week, and Saskatchewan took over the football game. They'll need to do it again, trailing by 8 against Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps. Chris Cuthbert. Glenn Suter and the second half right after this.
Get McMahon 30 minutes away, one team from a berth in the Grey Cup, 30 minutes away from another team being at the end of the line in 2018. Let's head to the sideline. Sarah Orlesky's with Andrew Harris.
Andrew, only 85 yards of total offense in that first half for your group. What was causing you guys some difficulties?
I mean, I felt like we were productive on first down in some cases, but when we weren't, those 2nd and 10s, I mean, it's tough to convert those. So we just got to be better on first down, more consistent on first down. You know, try to just get what we can and get ourselves in a better position for those 2nd downs.
48 yards for you, averaging 8 yards a carry. Do you feel you need to see the ball a little bit more in the second half?
I mean, it's a field thing right now. We just got to take whatever comes, and for me, I just got to make the most of my opportunities when they do come. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to, playing this out and getting ready to go.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That second down productivity has to be a concern of Mike O'Shea's. They were 1 for 10 in the opening half on second down conversions.
Well, as Andrew Harris mentioned, they were 2nd and long, and that's why it makes it so difficult against a good Calgary defense that tackle well. If you throw it underneath and expect a guy like Andrew Harris even to make 2 or 3 miss, it's tough against this Calgary D.
Calgary won the toss. They have elected to take the ball instead of getting the wind in the fourth quarter, and that's an indication that it looks like the wind is diminishing, and that's the way Dave Dickinson has read it. It's going to be William Longley on the return, and he gets cut down. A nice defensive tackle there by Marcus Sales.
Take a look at Bo Levi Mitchell's first half, where he threw 12 of 18, 156, and 2 touchdowns, both to Eric Rogers. And the question coming in with the depleted receiving corps, who's going to get the start at that position? Eric Rogers, who's banged up this season. Bakari Grant with a lot of experience in the playoffs, but when you look at Eric Rogers' numbers in the postseason, they're huge. He's a money player, and back at it with 2 touchdowns.
6th playoff game for Mitchell, now with 14 touchdown passes. Don Jackson got that outside ball of the football, and the Bombers have it. Taylor Loeffler with the recovery for the Bombers after a big run for Don Jackson.
Quick sudden change, see if Winnipeg can take advantage. It's a 1-possession game, so this is so important. Let's see where the ball comes out. Stripped by Alexander. Right on the spot is Taylor Loeffler.
So the first turnover of the day goes to Winnipeg. These 2 teams tied at +13 during the regular season. And there's the forced fumble by Brandon Alexander. Third quarter was the tipping point when these 2 teams met 3 weeks ago. Bombers start in Calgary territory, and here is Harris off the right side and down to the 43. So he has about 3 on that carry.
These 2 teams split in the regular season, and in those games when Calgary won, Winnipeg had a lead at halftime. When Winnipeg won, Calgary had a lead at halftime. We'll see if there's a similar script to this one, but Bombers with a golden opportunity, and now they're in 2nd and medium situation.
Can't beat out. 2nd and 6. Nichols on a roll. Anybody open? He'll throw underneath for Harris. Well covered by Jameer Thurman.
Numbers game there. I mean, Matt Nichols rolls to his right or the short side of the field there, and when he does it, he basically eliminates most of his targets. He only has 2 targets on that side, so as he gets out to this short side, there's only 2 receivers there. There's 4 to the wide field. If he scrambled the opposite direction, he'd have more options. Andrew Harris covered well by Jameer Thurman, one of the underrated linebackers in the league.
The Medlock to punt. Looking to pin Calgary. A delicate back waiting around the 10. And that one hooked out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. And they're going to spot it at the 12-yard line.
Loosening up again. Eric Rogers, let's take a look at his 2 touchdowns. Very similar plays down in the goal line in the red zone. Inside cuts when first Marcus Sales and then Chris Randall give him inside position. Throw and catch from Levi Mitchell to Eric Rogers.
Well, the Stamps unscathed from the first turnover of the game. Rogers with 4 catches in that opening half. Starting at the 12. And Mitchell stands in, and that one is incomplete. Ambles.
Anthony Gator. He's telling Bo Levi Mitchell, if it's a little bit outside, it's going to the house. He jumped down on this little curl route. Mitchell trying to look him off, but can't get it done. And look how close 23 is to picking that one.
So 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Mitchell in trouble here. And he handed it off there and dropped back around the 1-yard line as he gave it to Brad Erdos, or had it dislodged into the hands of Erdos. And a big loss on the play. Craig Rowe turning up the heat for the 3rd time. Winnipeg's got to the quarterback.
Jeff Coates in there. They put Opala Ugo. Look, he's right in the middle over Ucumbre Williams. That's unusual alignment for this defense. Rowe comes from outside in, and a little toss there.
Well, that's dangerous stuff too, isn't it?
Very.
Now do they give up 2 here? Maver 12 yards deep, puts the knee down, and they do give up the safety, so it's a 6-point game. This is dangerous stuff, though, from Bo Levi Mitchell to avoid the sack. He hands it off to one of his protectors.
Commentator Outdoor Clothing is brought to you by Nobis. This is Nobis.
Back at McMahon, where it's been comfortable here for the West Final. And I don't remember the last time the West Final had milder temperatures in the East. Winnipeg took the ball to 35. Dresser went up to make a tough catch, and the ball comes loose, incomplete as the ruling on the field.
There's the experience again that Brandon Smith brings to that secondary for the Calgary Stampeders. He just relentless in his coverage, assignment sound, meaning he just doesn't make mistakes, and he strips it out of there. Another big play by 28.
Another 2nd and long situation, 2nd and 10. And Nichols' first read unavailable, dancing around, got it away, and here's Nelson, and he made the first man miss and gets a big Winnipeg first down. And 3 for 35 in the regular season finale for Winnipeg, and a spot in this Western Final lineup.
Yeah, it looked like this pocket was collapsing around Matt Nichols. I'm not sure how he negotiated his way out of this, but he has Micah Johnson tracking him down and then coming underneath to get him with Cordero Law from behind. Dumps it off to Nelson, gets 11 yards, and then you set it down.
Well, now Strebler is a change of pace. Comes into the game with a first down and hands it off to Harris. Right side for Harris, not much there. Dragged down by Jagarrett Davis. Strebler a running threat to might create a little diversion for Harris. You can see some precipitation now as Matt Nichols checks back into the game. Second and 7 from about the 48-yard line. And again, first read not there. Nichols in trouble. He's going to get away. He gets tossed down by Davis.
That first read for Matt Nichols has been to Darvin Adams in the short side more than not. And Darvin Adams is being covered by Trey Roberson, who is the nominee for Outstanding Rookie for Calgary. And he's really done a nice job of taking Matt Nichols away from that look. See, to the short side, he wants to go there, but it's just covered down. So he's having to step up in the pocket, and sooner or later, that D-line's going to get there.
Roberson didn't play the last game. They had a rookie on the corner, Deshaun Amos, and Matt Nichols went after him in that Winnipeg victory. So Medlock to punt it away. Good move. Adeleke back inside his 20. 48-yard punt. And Adeleke brings it back to about the 34-yard line. 17-yard return. Jagarrett Davis and the Calgary defense has been stout so far today. That Stamp secondary has held Matt Nichols to 47 yards passing so far in the game. With more on that, let's go back to the sidelines. Here's Davis.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, you were talking about Brandon Smith earlier. Josh Bell, the defensive back coach, told me about Brandon Smith. He can put anybody next to him on that boundary side. He has the rookie Roberson out there, who's a tremendous athlete. But he said he can put anybody out there beside B. Smith. And B. Smith will tell him where to go, what routes are coming, what depth to play. He lets them know everything. He's really the glue back there in that secondary. It shows 36 yards passing. That's a communicative veteran defensive backfield.
Don't think we talk enough about Brandon Smith, who doesn't do a lot of talking except to play on the field. Incomplete pass there. Loeffler came over the top and a flag flies.
Flag came late, almost after the contact by Loeffler.
Ball was tipped, so let's see if that affects this call.
It was definitely tipped at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Bryant got his hand on it.
This officiating crew has over 2,700 games of experience.
Loeffler reminding the officials that it was tipped. So if it was
major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, number 16, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, Calgary.
I'm not sure about that call. It's a confusing call to me on that. I mean, if the ball's tipped, the timing can be off on a hit, and Loeffler doesn't know. He's going straight through. Did he drop his chin and hit with the crown of his helmet? It didn't look like it. Oh, his shoulder. Nothing wrong with that play.
It looked late only because the ball didn't arrive on time, but Loeffler doesn't know that the ball's been deflected.
No, and that's why that's not a penalty in that case. And Loeffler talked to the officials, and you saw the official turn around and say, "Yeah, no, I know it was tipped." So they understood that, but still called it. That's, I think, a missed call.
Got another flag here. This one against Calgary.
Holding Calgary, number 61, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Cambray Williams at center. Let's take a look and see the holding call just in front of Bo. He's going to pull to the left. Ian Wild is trying to take that on and twists Wild and doesn't let him pursue. Because Don Jackson bounces that play, Wild had a chance, so it makes it basically the point of attack foul.
The first and 20 back at the Stampeder 40-yard line. The hitch is dropped. Durant unable to hold on. It'll be second and 20.
Last time they were in first and 20, Bo Levi Mitchell put together an 8-minute drive that ended in an Eric Rogers touchdown, and this is a much steeper mountain to climb here at second and 20.
4 straight incompletions for Mitchell. Bombers defense tries to dig in. Call the draw to Jackson. First man misses. Don Jackson gets close to the original line of scrimmage, but the punt team will have to come on for the Stampeders.
know, sometimes it's a good play call to just limit the damage. When you get yourself in trouble like that offensively, you're in 2nd and 20, don't want to force something with the lead. Punt the ball and play the field position game. Good decision by Dave Dickinson on the call, and the execution by Mitchell.
Again, any wind advantage seems to have diminished here in the second half. Neighbor with a good boot though. 55-yarder. Charles Nelson on the return. And he gets loose. And he gets dragged down across the 30-yard line. Good return. Riley Jones, the UBC product, with the special team tackle.
Hi, I'm Darvin. I lost my foot in a lawnmower accident.
Rookie in the LAPD. Nathan Fillion stars in the new must-see police drama, The Rookie, streaming Tuesday at 10, 8 Mountain on CTV.
9 receivers in the CFL had 1,000 yards this season. One of them was Darvin Adams. Just 2 catches so far for Adams.
And only 47 yards passing. They'll hand it off to Harris inside. And he'll drive close to the 38.
Combine that, Chris, with the fact that Weston Dressler is the leading active receiver in the playoffs in yards receiving. Dressler almost 900 yards. He's only been targeted 3 times with just 2 catches. So right now that Calgary secondary Davis talked about, led by Brandon Smith, is shutting down those 2 targets for Nichols.
Harris has 53 on the ground, but only 47 passing yards. 2 for 13 on second down conversions. Pressure coming. There is a conversion catch to Wolodarski. And Drew Wolodarski has his first grab of the Western Final.
Well, Wolodarski almost lines up, you know, right in that tight end position almost, and then just sits down in the zone right in front of Singleton. But Singleton is influenced by Darvin Adams crossing in front of him. So the misdirection from Paul LaPolice works for a first down there.
Wolodarski's best game of the year. 8 catches, 90 against Calgary. Also a 60-yard touchdown reception against Calgary. Here is Dempsey loose. Turns the corner. And down the sideline, gets drilled out of bounds by Singleton. But back-to-back first downs here in the Bombers in business in Calgary territory.
Well, if your top 2 receivers are being covered well, and Adams and Dressler, find other targets. And that's what Paul LaPolice and Matt Nichols are doing right now. Wolodarski gets this first down, and then Dembski right in that Andrew Harris position at tailback. Underneath handoff, 18-yard gain. Nice bounce to the outside. Good play. Down the sideline.
18 for Dembski to the Stampeder 42. Double tight end formation is Harris. Straight ahead. And has 3 to 4 yards. Will give him 4, 2nd and 6.
That wind almost completely gone in this second half. So the Bombers, you're in Medlock range right now.
And an injured Stampeder needs attention. Jagarrett Davis is down. Big defensive end. Lost for at least 3 plays for Devon Claybrooks. And while he gets attention, we're going to step aside. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. League's leading rushers run over a lot of teams in his career. Calgary, not one of them, although he did have a nice game on October the 26th back at Investors Group Field. With more on Harris versus Calgary here, Sarah.
Yeah, Chris, when you think about all the teams that Andrew Harris has been able to have success against, the Calgary Stampeders historically have not been one of them. In fact, he has only one 100-yard game against them. It came back in 2013. I asked him about it, and he said he's so tired of hearing about it. He feels that he can change the narrative with the game here today. He does not want to hear any more about how Calgary has been able to stop him. And you look at it, he has over 60 yards so far. He's been the main cog right now in this offense. That's just a one-possession game, but certainly you'd like to see him get the ball a little bit more in the second half.
Well, a big offensive line plowed big holes last week for him. 2nd and 6. Nichols steps up over the middle, and he's got Darvin Adams a first down grab at the 25-yard line. This drive started at the Winnipeg 32.
Yeah, the Calgary Stampeders defensively, Devon Claybrooks is going to go with a stunt here with Cordero Law, and it almost works. Matt Nichols feels that pressure coming from 41, steps up nicely in the pocket, and finds Adams throwing on the run.
So the Bombers on the march. They'll go double tight ends here. Kalarin or Rimmelade in for Jameer Davis. Here comes pressure. Nichols going to throw that away. And Rimmelade in the neighborhood, and a flag comes down in the secondary, or in the offensive backfield.
It looked like Cordero Law was in a one-on-one on Andrew Harris, and Harris went right to the official afterwards to discuss that flag.
Holding Winnipeg number 33. It's a 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
So they'll take the 10, and it'll be 1st and 20.
Backside, Andrew Harris. Well, actually, he steps up in the middle. I thought it was on Cordero Law coming off the edge from behind, and it wasn't. It was right down the middle. Rimmelade.
First and 20 back at the 35-yard line. More pressure on Nichols, and he'll short hop that with Micah Johnson turning up the heat again.
It's just a beast. It's just, you know, you can go a few plays without him being in your backfield, and then he'll get there, and it's a little bit of a stunt this time up front. Just a twist between he and Junior Turner to get just a split second that protection to break down. Andrew Harris was also assigned to help out on Micah Johnson. Didn't matter.
So 2nd and 20. And Nichols sets up the screen. And Harris can't get away. Taken down by Adeleke, the extra DB, and that last play, and the field goal unit will have to come on as Harris gets tripped up heading off the field.
Boy, just great tacklers. Again, I go back to that theme. Calgary Stampeders, and you try to run a screen, you got to make it one guy miss. There's usually one guy out there covering the tailback on the screen. In this case, it was Adeleke, and he brought him down without help from his teammates.
Still setting up a 41-yard attempt. Trying to cut the advantage in half. Medlock up and good. 3 to make it a 3-point Calgary lead with 3:33 left in the third. Coverage of the 2018 Home Hardware Canada Cup of Curling comes your way from Estevan, December 5th to 9th, as teams battle to secure a berth in the 2021 Road to the Roar pre-trials. Catch the action beginning December 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific across the TSN network. So Winnipeg scored the first 6, 14 in a row for the Stampeders on a pair of Eric Rogers touchdowns. A safety and a field goal have got Winnipeg back within 3 points.
Adeleke's a couple returns, a nice tackle on that second and long. He's back in the kick return team here again for Calgary.
If you're joining us late, Romar Morris left the game with what appeared to be an Achilles injury. So Medlock kicks it off, and it will be a delicate from the 17. And across the 30-yard line. A lot of focus on Calgary and the fact they've dropped the last couple of Grey Cup games. Bo Levi Mitchell just concerned about getting back.
You can only ask for a ticket to the dance. You know, I mean, once you get there, whether or not the girl says yes or no to dance with you is decided then. But, you know, I'm proud of the way we've fought in this organization, you know, through thick and thin, through injuries, through, you know, upsets, through glory, all those things to continue to, you know, keep striving to, you know, not let us fall off.
It is a 6th straight 13-win season for the Calgary Stampeders, but this one's been more of a grind than most of them.
Well, 7 in a row on the West Division final. So that's one thing. And you look, if they get back and they can win this game, then Calgary goes back for 3 straight Grey Cup appearances. That's never happened in the history of this franchise. The success created by John Hufnagel, unprecedented, really. I mean, take a look at their Grey Cup appearances, their Grey Cup wins, and again, just finishing atop the division year in and year out.
2nd and 7. Bombers rush 5. Pass is caught by Rogers, and that's a Calgary first down in front of Brandon Alexander.
And see what you do, you work Rogers in the first half, working those inside cuts. His 2 touchdowns were on those inside. So now look where Brandon Alexander plays, hard on the inside shoulder. That's where you've got to take away that inside easy throw. Is Rogers okay after that hit?
Boy, he just hung on.
Yeah.
First completion of the second half for Bo Levi Mitchell.
But Dave Dickinson goes back to outcut in the second half.
Play action fake, has time to go deep. Flag comes down, and the pass just out of the reach of Lamar Durant. But a holding call against Calgary. And this Stamps offense has hit a lull.
Holding Calgary, number 53. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Brad Erdos, the right guard, is going one-on-one with Jake Thomas, and watch 53. He's okay at the beginning of this play, although he's on roller skates a little bit, and then just pulls Thomas down with him.
You surprised they declined that? Don't take the 10 yards. They'll make Mitchell deal with 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 20 from 10 yards back. Anybody open? Took a long look and then throws it away. And so the call of making the rule 2nd and 10 was a good one.
But you know, and I wonder, Chris, if Mike O'Shea on that decision went back to the first half and thought, we did that once. We put them in 1st and 20. They converted, ended up in a touchdown. This time we'll give them 2nd and 10. They're one play. We can stop them, get the ball back. So dropped off. Bo Levi Mitchell had no target, threw it away.
Man, whatever adjustments they made at the half have worked, as Mitchell's 1 for 6 in the 3rd quarter. Line drive from Maver. Charles Nelson. Little jab step there and finally tossed down around the 27-yard line. So Matt Nichols has got them within 3, even though he's not into triple figures passing so far on the day.
No, but you think back to the Western semifinal, just had 169 yards, 16 of 22 in that game, in that win. Of course, Andrew Harris a bigger part along the ground in that one with over 150 yards rushing. But, you know, 4 of those throws in the 16 of 22 in the semifinal for Matt Nichols, he threw away. Really only 2 incompletions. And what he wants to do or has to do is avoid the turnover.
Here's Harris. And a good run up the middle, and he falls forward to the 39-yard line, close to a first down.
Well, we have to show this only because you never see it, so it's a once in a lifetime with Micah Johnson up front missing a tackle. But hey, sometimes the other all-star, the other award nominee makes the play. Andrew Harris up for top Canadian. He'll be a finalist against Brad Sinopoli. Grey Cup week, whether Winnipeg's in it or not.
And it is a first down run for Harris. Strebler comes in. Harris at 73 yards in the day. Jagarrett Davis back in on defense. And Strebler's going to throw deep. And he just missed an open Andrew Harris.
Oh, boy. You only get one opportunity at this type of play. They sneak Andrew Harris out of the backfield, and when Andrew Harris is going to go down the seam, he fools the Calgary defense. Again, something that you just never see. Fake the fly sweep to Weston Dressler, little dip his shoulder into the line, and look at how open Andrew Harris is in behind coverage. Just got to throw it up and let him run under it. Oh.
Missed opportunity. Nichols back in. 2nd and 10. And that one almost picked off. Adam Berger in the neighborhood, intended for Dressler. Emmanuel Davis there as well. And that's the final play of the third quarter. Down to a 3-point game. Here in the Western Final, with the winner headed to Edmonton for a date with the Ottawa Redblacks in the 106th Grey Cup. These are the top 2 scoring teams in the league during the regular season, but also the 2 stingiest teams defensively, and defense winning the day through 3 quarters.
Yeah, both these quarterbacks have had to really grind this game out. I mean, there was a moment there for Bo Levi Mitchell with Eric Rogers and back-to-back touchdown throws, but since then, it's been all defense, and 5 teams tied with 45 sacks. Two of them are playing in this game in Winnipeg and Calgary.
All the teams in the West, wind was a decisive factor, we thought, in the first half. Winnipeg will have it here in the fourth quarter, although it doesn't look like it is much of an advantage anymore.
No, and you know, when you take a look at this game and how it's unfolded, you're probably looking at a big defensive play, maybe a special teams return that can tip the balance here. But certainly both quarterbacks trying to be careful not to make that big mistake. The interception.
So we start the fourth quarter. Medlock to punt. Looks like a slight breeze at his back now with the delicate. And Lamar Durant, and it will be Durant after a 43-yard punt, bringing it back to the 37-yard line.
Now, both these Eastern Washington products do not throw many interceptions, especially in the big playoff games. And let's show you again the playoff numbers for Bo Levi Mitchell. And when you take a look at touchdowns to interceptions, you know, he's been able to avoid the big mistake in the playoffs. Over 300 yards passing on average. And Matt Nichols the same way, not thrown an interception in his playoff experience.
Here in the second half, though, the 4 Stampeder possessions, a turnover, a safety, and 2 punts. They take the hitch, they go downfield. Incomplete, intended for Matthews. Chris Randall scrambling to get back there.
You know, these 2 teams are going toe-to-toe and grinding in. That's 2 opportunities, one for Winnipeg on that Andrew Harris throw down the middle, and one right there for Chris Matthews, who is open behind coverage. And if that ball is thrown through over the other shoulder, he's scoring with that play. So 2 missed opportunities, 1 per team. Remember those tosses, one by Andrew Harris in panic time and one by Bo in panic time? They got away with those, both teams.
2nd and 10. Here come the Bombers with the blitz, and the pass incomplete. Amble's unable to bring it down against Marcus Sayles, but a flag is tossed.
Did Sayles get there a little early? Full blitz, and Sayles is in man-to-man coverage.
Sayles pleading his case. Let's have a look.
A little bit of an argument from Marcus Sayles. I'm not sure why. I thought he had his hands all over.
Pass interference. Winnipeg, number 38. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Calgary.
36 Sayles. We're going to take a look as Michael O'Shea was eyeing the scoreboard, and Mike challenge.
Well, look at the grab on the shoulder pads.
Yep.
Sales Ambles tries to break free from that and can't. That's impeding the receiver on his route.
Yeah, the grab on the collar tells the story. Looks like a free play here. Bombers were offside, and Matthews steps out with another Calgary first down.
A little bit quieter here at McMahon. A 3-point game.
I thought Bombers were offside, but it looks like Calgary walking back.
Offside. Calgary, number 81. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So they call Matthews offside. And it'll be 1st and 15.
Is he there? He's got a tight end, so he can be in motion towards the line of scrimmage. Very close, but looked like he was in that neutral zone.
Pressure coming. Mitchell gets away and throws it away at the Bomber bench.
Yeah, both these quarterbacks have just been grinding. It's been tough for them to just plant their feet, settle into the pocket, and deliver. And when you're getting that kind of pressure defensively, and both these teams are, you can't get in the rhythm you need as a quarterback, and that's what we're watching here. And when they get that opportunity, that's why the miss by Chris Matthews on that deep road a couple plays ago, the one for Andrew Harris and Chris Strevler missed him. Those are your chances.
You could say one in the end zone for each team as well. Remember Darvin Adams loose in the first half, and one in the second quarter for Calgary. More pressure. Somehow Mitchell ducked away, but has to throw it away, this time to the Calgary sideline.
You know, and watch Bo Levi Mitchell's feet on this play specifically. When you take a look at just watch his feet, and how even when initially he's still got a bit of a pocket. He's hopping, he's bouncing, he's hopping, he's uncomfortable. And then the pocket collapses, he's got to move.
Well, the old adage about defense winning championships might be applicable in this one, because it has been a defensive struggle. Nelson going to play that and step out at the 22-yard line. So the Bombers have the football early fourth quarter, trailing by 3. Get the feeling both quarterbacks are trying to manage the game, and Matt Nichols has managed to go through the playoffs with a long stretch without throwing an interception.
Yeah, 20 attempts tonight added to that total, so 153, which is real impressive. And you're right, you get into that management mode, and then it's a matter of, they're behind in the scoreboard. They're in their own end. They've got to start pushing the ball and earning their right to the championship game.
Deepest field position start, second half for Winnipeg from the 22. Nichols out of the pocket. Is he going to take off? Junior Turner trips him up, and Nichols falls forward to the 30. So has close to 8, but might have run for a first down had it not been for the 8-year man out of Bishops, Junior Turner.
Junior Turner is going to get the push. I thought Matt Nichols was going to take off and run before he actually did. Just a great power rush down the middle by Turner, who hustles and beats his teammate Cordero Law to the tackle from behind.
Bombers go big team, double tight ends on 2nd and 2. And they're going to reset the clock.
I think Al Bradbury was the one who noticed that he's the 8th official in this game. There's usually 7. But after the hit from Jeff Coate on Brandon Bridge, Randy Ambrosi added an official to simply look at the quarterback and protect him if a call is missed or the head official's view is blocked.
And a couple of those calls in the Eastern Final. Harris Didn't get there. Crashed down right at the line of scrimmage. That's a couple of times in this game. Winnipeg's had second and short and were unable to convert.
You know, I mentioned in the semifinal when that Winnipeg O-line took control and Andrew Harris in the running game did in the fourth quarter in the second half, and said, you know you're playing well up front when you can run the ball when everyone knows you're going to run it. Well, the same can be said for the defense. Everyone knows that they'd rather run the ball on that 2nd and 2 situation. Can you stop it? And that's twice in this game tonight. Calgary's done that.
That's the 4th 2 and out, and Medlock comes in. And neither team's been able to generate much here in the second half. Adeleke awaits along with Durant. Medlock launches a beauty. That's over the head of Adeleke. All the way down around the 10-yard line. Bounces back here. And there'll be no yards. And I wonder if there'll be more because Adeleke tried to get to the ball and was impeded. So let's find out what the call is. It's a 63-yard punt. We will sort out the penalty. Andrew Harris and Micah Johnson arguing over who's going to Edmonton for the Grey Cup. Big game's a week away in Edmonton. Grey Cup Saturday from noon till 6 Eastern. And the big game, our coverage begins at 1 o'clock Eastern. We know it will be Ottawa. Will it be the first time Winnipeg and Ottawa meet in the modern era in Grey Cup games, or a rematch of 2 years ago?
It's a 15-yard penalty on Brandon Alexander on that. It looked like he just thought about downing the ball, the NFL rule.
And a lot of movement pre-snap there. The ball not snapped by Williams, and Bergman will get called for procedure.
You see that coming under that Grey Cup promo. One of these two teams are going to get there, and it's crunch time right now. I mean, that's where a couple of these penalties.
Procedure. Calgary, number 60. A 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Little penalties that are just you're distracted by the stage. Even veteran players, it can happen. I mean, Bergman, Alexander, both been around long enough to understand that now's the time to dial it in and focus, make that play necessary to get your team there.
Every play magnified now. That was a 63-yard punt, by the way, by Medlock. 15 on the penalty, 5 back now on the Bergman infraction. And 1st and 15. And a toss here to Don Jackson, trying to get outside. And a big collision there. Brandon Alexander stepped up and brings him down at the 30.
Makes amends. He knows the mistake he made on the kick team, taking a little of the sting out of a big Justin Medlock punt. So steps up, makes a nice tackle.
Stamp scored their 2 touchdowns in a 3-minute span in the second quarter. Have not scored since. And the Calgary lead now, a field goal. 3-man front. Second down, Mitchell open target, a drop ball. Durant can't hang on. Might have had a look because Taylor Loeffler, the big hitting safety, was in the neighborhood.
A Western All-Star, and he has that reputation. You know that when a receiver is trying to go into the middle, he's looking to where Taylor Loeffler is, and sometimes he doesn't even have to be in position to make a hit and affect the play. And I think you're bang on right. There's number 16 stepping up into the picture. And did it affect Durant?
Number 4 being in the vicinity would be a distraction too, wouldn't it? 4th straight punt. Baver gets it away. Nelson backpedals to the 25. 54-yard punt, so that tells you the wind is really not a factor at this point in the game. As he brings it back to the 33, Winnipeg football down by 3.
This is the...
Defenses love this kind of game. Defensive stars like Micah Johnson, Alex Singleton. With more on them, here again, Sarah.
Well, Chris, Micah Johnson could be such an intimidating presence and persona out there, especially when he gets on the field. But he's a great teammate. Everyone talks about it. He was presented the President's Ring from the Stampeders as voted on by players for excellence both on the field and off. But Corey Mace, their defensive line coach, said as great of a teammate as he is, when he goes out on the field, a switch flips. No one can attest to that better than Alex Singleton, who said when he first came to the team, he couldn't even talk to Micah on the field. He wasn't allowed to. He said he knew he'd made it when Micah was talking to him during the game.
Well, it's not Micah this time. It's Jagarrett Davis who gets to the quarterback, and Calgary's got their 3rd sack of the game.
Jagarrett Davis is going to be the benefactor at times of Micah Johnson eating up blocks, and that interior eating up blocks. This time it was Jameer Thurman coming on a blitz that took 2 with him to leave a one-on-one for Jagarrett Davis, and he gets to Matt Nichols from behind.
Davis has double-dipped, a pair of sacks in the game, 7 during the regular season, and it sets up 2nd and long. More pressure. Nichols out of the pocket, throws on the run, and he's got Darvin Adams. It'll be short of the 1st down. And the punt team has to come on midway through this 4th quarter. Back-to-back 2 and outs for Winnipeg.
Special teams play, special teams mistake. The last one was a big punt from Justin Medlock. Adelake's had a couple of returns. 1 touchdown return called back in this game tonight.
So Medlock with Adelake back at the 26. And the Carlton product brought down around the 36-yard line. Injured player on the field for Calgary. And it's Jameer Thurman getting attention.
He was trying to make a block. I think he got pushed into the pile. He was right at the point of attack, Jameer Thurman.
Now let's throw to the sidelines. Here's Davis Sanchez.
Yeah, guys, the bigger the game and the bigger the moment in the game, like right now, as a defensive guy, you got to keep your eyes on your work. Don't want to step out of the framework, because that's when you often get beat. But I heard these Bombers guys, Chris Randall, Taylor Loeffler, talking on the sideline about scoring. So watch for these Bombers defensive backs to start getting peeky with their eyes, start looking around a bit, trying to make plays and trying to score. This offense obviously hasn't been able to put points on the board. They're going to do it themselves. They might take some chances. But that's what they're trying to do right now.
And I get it. And that's one side of it. You know, if your offenses are struggling, you start thinking that way, as Davis said, defensively. Hey, let's get one ourselves and contribute offensively. The downside is jumping a double move and having Bo Levi Mitchell throw it in behind you in a key point of the game. So
isn't that a fine line? Because how often do you hear, just do your job?
Exactly.
Don't try to do too much.
And you know Mitchell loves that deep ball. What a season for Jameer Thurman, their nominee for Outstanding Special Teams Player. This is a starting linebacker that was their nominee in the return game, with a returner the quality of Terry Williams this year and his 3 punt return touchdowns, and yet he was so dominant as a cover man and playing every snap, or most of the snaps when he wasn't hurt with his foot injury in the linebacking core.
Pretty clear he got poked in the eye. If he can't go, Winton McManus is a terrific replacement. But
some great young linebackers in Leeds. Samuel Aguavin in Saskatchewan, Jameer Thurman, Santos Knox. It's too bad he couldn't play again in this one.
Hoping he can be available next week if necessary. Well, that's quite a story. Second half for Mitchell, trying to change that stat line. And he has has an open target here, and the catch is made. Richardson Danny, the youngster, makes the catch. That gets Calgary a first down near midfield.
I believe this is, and I'll confirm with Matt Dunnigan and Henry Burris that this is one of the toughest throws for a quarterback to make in the Canadian Football League. You're on the right hash, you're throwing the deep out to the wide side of the field. It's a long throw. The ball has to be on time. It has to be accurate. If it's not, it's going the other way. That's veteran Kevin Fogg. What a throw by Mitchell.
First down into Bomber territory. Big hole by Jackson with a burst. And down at the 35-yard line. An 18-yard bolt by Don Jackson.
Randy Richards, right tackle. Erdos in there at right guard. Because that was a monster hole. Nice block right here, right at the point of attack on the kick out by Randy Richards. And right off of that block, Don Jackson into the secondary.
Jackson at 75 rushing yards. Harris was 73 for Winnipeg. First down, Bomber 35. Fake to Jackson, over the middle, incomplete. Marcus Sales working against Markeith Ambles. And a flag down.
This is going to be closer. I saw the crossing route, and Sales had his left arm on the waist of the target here.
Flag came down away from Sales and Ambles, but it looks like it was just an official who was a few yards further away from the play.
Pass interference. Winnipeg, number 36. Point of foul, automatic first down.
And it is Sales.
Well, I'll show you where he lines up. It's Sales right here, and the route from Ambles is right across the middle. He puts his left hand around the waist of Ambles right as the ball's about to arrive, right there. And they're saying he turned him enough to draw the flag. Now does O'Shea want another look at it? No.
11th penalty against Winnipeg. Don Jackson tackle. And a good short tackle by Anthony Gator.
Stepped up. This is a huge down for both teams.
Mike O'Shea trying to keep his team within a one score of the lead.
And keep it to one possession is the goal for Winnipeg right now, and to put the hammer down for Dave Dickinson and this Calgary offense, put it in the end zone.
2nd and 8. From the Winnipeg 20, here comes pressure. Mitchell on a roll, he's got an open target. Durant's got the catch, cuts it back inside. It's a first down at the 5-yard line. First and goal for Calgary.
Great players make amends when they make a mistake. They flush it and they come back. And Lamar Durant is going to do that. He's on the outside. Remember that drop in the last series? Well, clutch time, 2nd down. If they don't get this converted, it's a field goal attempt. Still one possession game. Now it's a chance for a major after that catch by number 1.
Both trips to the red zone have resulted in touchdowns so far in the game. First and goal from the 5. And they're going to throw. Mitchell's going to get dropped. Back at the 9, Jackson Jeffcoat with another sack.
I know there was a lot of Rider fans unhappy with Jeffcoat and that hit on Brandon Bridge. That time I think he's even learned from it in 1 week, because he went real low. He went real low on and made sure he was in the target zone for this hit on Bo Levi Mitchell.
Winnipeg. Timeout Winnipeg.
So he's up, and then he goes down, and look how he gets down into that target area.
I thought Dave Dickinson's comments yesterday were very interesting.
Excellent.
Defending the league and talking about how difficult it is to make those calls, to make those plays, and that mistakes are going to happen by referees, by players, and a guy that believes the league is doing all it can for safety. And when you think about his history,
and played the position. Yep. Yeah. Matt Nichols basically echoed the comments made by Dave Dickinson in the press conference about hits to the quarterback, that the league's doing everything they can. That's the reason for the additional official here tonight. But occasionally it's a fast game, it's a physical game, and occasionally they're going to get hit hard as well.
So the Bombers defense called timeout. And now another critical play. 2nd and goal from the 10 after the 4th sack of the game for Winnipeg. Pressure on, ball in the end zone, and Rogers brings it down. His 3rd touchdown of the game.
You can't coach size. You can't coach 6'3". Brandon Alexander can't cover Eric Rogers any better than this. He's sitting on that outside shoulder, does a speed turn to get there, but Rogers climbs the ladder, uses every inch of that 6'3" frame, gets up there and pulls it down. Money time, the hat trick for 15.
Playoff record is 4 touchdowns, but
what a catch.
He goes up and brings that down. A tremendous grab. Strong hands it for his 3rd of the game. And now 8 playoff touchdowns for Eric Rogers. Play being reviewed, but get both hands on it.
Can I get one? Can I get one?
And the call will stand. It's a Calgary touchdown that makes it a 2-score Stampeder lead.
Hey, walk your shit. Walk your seat, talk your shit, nigga. Let's go.
Paredes adds the convert, and a 10-point advantage now with just under 3.5 minutes to go. A huge drive, 7 plays, 74 yards. And it ends the way the first 2 touchdown drives ended in the hands of Eric Rogers.
I think that's Bo Levi Mitchell in that group trying to getting some medical attention or some type of attention there. He got hit. Remember the hit he took from Jeffcoat? This is the touchdown, and he doesn't get hit there, so he looks fine on that touchdown throw. But remember the Jackson Jeffcoat hit right there.
And he has a brace on the left knee. Did he take the shot? No, it's a maybe an arm issue. Hard to say, but
guys,
let's check in with Sarah.
Looking right now at Bo Levi Mitchell, he's being examined by the medical staff ever since he came off the field limping. They're looking at his right knee right now. He mentioned he has a brace on the left knee. He's standing up right now. We'll see how he is going forward, but he looked to be in considerable pain when he came off the field.
There you see him up, and right now it's going to be a focus on Matt Nichols and the Bombers, who have to respond now as Charles Nelson runs it out to the 25.
CFL review that as a touchdown.
The Garricks took offense if there was any doubt that he made that catch.
Well, he forces a speed turn from Alexander, but Alexander recovers here. You see, the speed turn means he had to turn his back to the receiver for a brief second, but he recovers to get there, and just the athleticism from Rogers to climb the ladder and go up there and get it. I mean, that ball looked like it was almost overthrown, but Rogers pulled it down.
There's nothing doing up the middle, and that defense fired up now. Jagarrett Davis leading the charge.
Remember the big game Jagarrett Davis had against Matt Nichols, a couple of interceptions, and that one from the defensive line position here at McMahon Stadium, and he's been a force tonight.
We've hit the 3-minute warning. A huge touchdown drive for Calgary, and now a 10-point lead, biggest of the game. Exactly 3 minutes left. Regulation time in the Western Final. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Shaw. Proud to present the 106th Grey Cup. Back in Calgary, 3 minutes away from the end of regulation time. The Bombers looking at 2nd and 12. Need some big plays now. And Nichols looking for one right here, and he's got it to Darvin Adams up around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, now the play calling changes. Now the thought process for Matt Nichols changes. You're down 2 possessions. You've got to push the football, and this time it's Darvin Adams on the dig route.
26-yard completion. Nichols looking downfield. Micah Johnson in pursuit, so he has to throw it away. It'll be 2nd and 10. Last meeting 3 weeks ago, they scored 3 touchdowns in an 8-minute span in the third quarter. They need to generate 10 points here in the last 3 minutes.
On first down, Darvin Adams, you saw him in the slot back position. He was open, made the catch on that last play where Matt Nichols had to throw it away. He was back at wideout against Roberson. So he's back in the short side against Roberson again, who's done a real nice job against him tonight.
McMahon revs up 2nd and 10. Was that pass tipped? It looked like it was at the line. Intended for Adams. And it's 3rd down, and the offense has to stay out.
Oh, yeah. 2 possessions, you've got to go, but that was again a 2nd target right to Darvin Adams. And I think it was just a communication issue. Adams with an inside cut, and it looked like Nichols threw it to the outside.
Trying to stay alive. 3rd and 10. Looking for Dressler, knocked down. Big defensive play made by Brandon Smith. The 11-year vet makes a play that might get him to a Grey Cup for the 6th time.
Well, I tell you, this is, like Davis said on the sideline with Brandon Smith, he's running the routes. Take a look at his jump on this curl route to Dressler. He's going to drop off of it, but he knows Dressler's going to run. As soon as he gears it down, he's going to run that curl route, and he comes out of a cannon breaking downhill to make the play and the knockdown from Brandon Smith. You have to have great route recognition to move that quickly out of your back pedal like Brandon Smith just did. A money play on 3rd down.
Comes from the same school as Ricky Ray, Sacramento State. Don Jackson now against a deflated Winnipeg defense. John Huffnagel looks like he's packing up and headed to Edmonton. Well, a team that looked like it might be ready to end the longest active Grey Cup drought. Couldn't generate enough against the Calgary defense today. Markeith Ambles is brought down short of the 1st down. Tackled by Fogg. It'll be about a yard short of the 1st down. What does Dave Dickinson do here?
But this game tonight has been a defensive battle, both sides, and the Bomber defense played well.
Timeout, Winnipeg, timeout.
Bombers stopped the clock. Last week, Winnipeg held Saskatchewan to 100 yards passing. A week later, they have been held in check to only 111 yards passing so far in the game. Well, they're going to punt, not take any chances. But it does keep Winnipeg's hopes alive.
Number 6 is in the ballgame.
Maber as good as anybody in the league at hitting the corner. Low snap. Drives that one, and he has missed it. It'll go for a single point, and now it's an 11-point lead. Time now for the Shaw connection of the game. Shaw, super fan and proud sponsor of the CFL.
Well, I think you know where we're going with this one because he had 3 of them, so we'll pick the most spectacular of the 3 touchdowns from Eric Rogers on this out route on Brandon Alexander. Goes up and snatches it out of midair. What a great catch. Money time when it was a 1-possession game. That made it 2 possessions and a big Calgary lead.
Well, now it's a touchdown, 2-point convert and field goal difference between these 2 teams. With a couple of minutes to go, they'll swing it to Harris. Can't make the catch. 2nd and 10. Harris 3 catches in the game for only 9 yards. 80 combined from scrimmage for Harris on the day. But Mike O'Shea's offense has generated only 200 yards net.
I feel like they've got in plus territory in this second half.
More heat. Nichols dumps it off. Look out, Harris. Not going anywhere against Deontay Evans. And it's another 3rd and long.
Calgary has not won the 3 straight Grey Cups in their history. Can they make it in their 3rd visit? Get the job done.
3rd down, Nichols scrambling. And through cross body for a 1st down. Dipsky's got the catch. And Winnipeg will stay on the field. And the big boys do some cruising. Yards to Dembski. Trying to score quick enough for the short kick. And here's the shot. Looking for Adams. Incomplete. Trey Roberson, the rookie corner, on the job for Calgary. And Adams blew a tire, lost a shoe.
Well, Roberson has done such a good job tonight in that matchup against Darvin Adams. I mean, as I mentioned in the game, Winnipeg beat Calgary. Roberson didn't play corner against Adams in that one.
2nd and 10. Open is Dressler, and they can't make the connection. And again, 3rd down upcoming for Winnipeg. Micah Johnson. Nichols gets away, directing traffic, open target, and the catch is made. Rashawn Simon Eyes has the catch, and the Bombers have a 1st down at the Calgary 30-yard line.
And they have to get in the end zone right now. Got a handful of plays that have had to be made to the miraculous comeback.
And a timeout called by Calgary. Stops the clock, 45 seconds remaining.
Timeout, Calgary. Time to reset the clock to read 49 seconds, please.
Can they get into the end zone and create that onside kick possibility to pull off the miracle?
You could take a field goal attempt here, knowing you need a major and 2-point convert. and save time on the clock. But let's be honest, for the Bombers right now, it's a major ask. You're looking at a handful of plays, not just a couple, to make the miraculous comeback.
You know, the wheels are turning, though. He's thinking about exactly what you've suggested. I would guess he's going to take one or two shots. If it's third down, he'll kick the field goal. Here's the first shot, and it's Dipsky. Well, he made a tremendous one-handed catch, but didn't have a foot in bounds, so it's incomplete, which will keep him off the highlight reel tonight. Heck of a catch.
Nope. Right heel on the white stripe. What a catch, though.
And now the field goal unit does come on, so they...
6 seconds. Yeah, took, 4 seconds off the clock with that attempt. Took one shot at it.
Just to get them within 8 and make that short kickoff significant. Medlock makes it 22-14. And now the hands team gets ready for Mike O'Shea, one of the best special teams men in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, what has he got in that bag of tricks? I mean, this is a guy who has come up with some of the most innovative special teams plays I've ever seen, to be quite honest. And you know that something that they've been working on all year long now and haven't used, it's right now. Give it a chance. There's a couple different ways. The conventional way to try this onside is to line it up on one hash, kick it to the wide field, just 11, 12 yards in the air, and hope one of your guys is the last to touch it going out of bounds. Option 2 usually is to squib it forward with a couple players chasing it in the middle and try and fool the hand steamer, Calgary's onside team.
Well, Mark Killam's been at this a long time,
yes,
with
absolutely
tremendous success as well.
Now the front line for Calgary and Mark Killam's group and the hands team is going to try and disrupt the cover team to go and let the receiver be the one to play the football.
You were outlining things and said the conventional, but Mike O'Shea often not the conventional guy when it comes to these kind of plays. So let's see what he's got up his sleeve. Yeah, Whitney McManus from Calgary is trying to get in that Winnipeg huddle. And here we go. Medlock as good as anybody, controlling these. Up for grabs, some big contact. Who comes down with it? Looks like it's Stampeder football. And it is. And it's Alex Singleton who wins the battle. Well, on a defensive day, even on the teams, a defensive star makes the play.
Knew something was up. It was going to not be the wide side onside attempt because of how many players were right in the middle behind Medlock. So he tries to really sky it, but not get it to the sideline, get it to the hash. Singleton says, that's where I line up. Look at 49, locked in, hustle over there, and beat everyone to the football. Said yesterday in our sit-downs, hey, on defense, it's 12 guys. Just go after the football like your life depends on it. Same on special teams.
Boy, it's been a complete 12-guy effort on that defense today. And the realization hits the Bomber bench that a season of hope is coming to an end.
But a great Bomber season. Get to the Western Final, 10-8 regular season. You know, they may be a star receiver away from being that much better offensively.
Just felt like they were one weapon away today, didn't it? John Hufnagel knows the way to the Grey Cup. And it will be a rematch of 2 years ago. Calgary's headed back to the big game, and they'll meet the Red Blacks, hoping the third straight year is the charm. First head coach for Calgary to take his team to 3 consecutive Grey Cups. And the drought extended for another year for Mike O'Shea and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Eric Rogers was targeted 6 times tonight by Bo Levi Mitchell. He made 6 receptions for 61 yards, but most impressively, the hat trick in the touchdown department. And they got in the red zone. They went to 15.
And he's standing by with Sarah Orleski.
Thanks so much, Chris. Eric, for you, when you look at the way that this game went and your 3 touchdowns, how much do you relish this opportunity to have been such a big part of the success today?
Yeah, man. I got a little banged up in one of those catches. I was out for a couple of series. I came back, and Bo gave me a high ball, and I made a good catch. And given the situation, it was one of my better catches. And, you know, Richie had a big catch that drive. Lamar had a big second down conversion. So it's team effort. When we needed to make plays, you know, receiver stepped up. We split it a little bit, but the defense played a hell of a game, and we made the plays when we needed to.
Back with this team this year, you went to the Grey Cup with them in 2014, but what's different about this group and how you guys have been able to overcome adversity, especially when you look at the receiving core?
We've been real resilient. You know, receiver core next week might be a little different. You never know. But we've been real resilient, and this might be one of the most rewarding seasons for me if we're able to finish it off next week. And I'm sure it'll be rewarding for the rest of the guys as well, coming off the past 2 losses. So we got to get it done and hope we can take care of business.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Eric Rogers, a hero. Weston Dressler, you wonder if it's the last time we see him on a stage like this.
Matt Nichols mentioned to us he thinks Dressler may be back. We'll see. This offseason will be interesting for a lot of reasons, but got a big one to play next week, and the Calgary Stampeders have earned it.
Let's go back to Sarah with Bo Levi Mitchell.
He's just saying congratulations right now. His moment with Jackson Jeffcoat. Bo, when you look at the way that this group has been able to get back now again, 4 out of 5 years, going back to the Grey Cup, how does this one feel different?
Man, I mean, honestly, I feel like our locker room is just different. These guys are just so tight-knit. I think we've been a little big-headed and cocky in the past, but this team right here, man, we love each other, and we just want to do it for each other.
I have to ask, how is the knee feeling at the end?
I'm good. Yeah. It was more of a scare than anything. Can't keep me off this field, man. No matter how many things happen, I'm going to go out there for my team and finish this.
It's the rematch, the Grey Cup from a couple years ago against Ottawa. Look ahead, what are you expecting to see in Edmonton?
Yeah, I mean, same logos, but they're 2 completely different teams. We haven't seen them since early in the season. I mean, you saw their game. They balled out. They had a great game. They held a great offense to, not a great game. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a dogfight. We're going to have to give everything we had to go out there and win that game.
Just very quickly, your defense, what type of role they played today? What type of message did they send?
Just to show that they're here. That a game or 2 doesn't change who they are and what they've done all season. It doesn't change the body of work we put in. So people need to recognize that, and we need to recognize that this is a different team that started the season, but we're still a great team. We got a chance to go put a cup over our head.
Well, we'll let you go celebrate. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much.
They'd lost 3 of 4 down the stretch, and for the first time, I think, in the Bo Levi Mitchell era, we were wondering if this team was still good enough, and they heard those questions from across the country and are trying to answer them, as well as the ability to finish, which they haven't been able to do the past couple of years.
At the beginning of the work week, Dave Dickinson basically said to the media that they felt they were underdogs going into this Western final, and I didn't agree with that necessarily, because they are a 13-win team, even though they didn't finish as strong as they wanted to. But this is a different team. This is a team that wasn't dominant all year long, and wasn't dominant in the second half of the regular season, and had to win the last game against BC to lock up first place. The last 2 years that they've got to the Grey Cup, they've had first place locked up with 2-3 games to go in the regular season. This team is maybe a little bit more battle-tested down the stretch to have that desperation at the end of the regular season to get into it, and they had to grind this win out. I mean, Winnipeg took them to 1 possession deep into the 4th quarter until Bo Levi Mitchell put together that long drive that finished with the 3rd Eric Rogers touchdown.
As Bo mentioned, they haven't played Ottawa for a long time, since back in late June, early July. We'll have the trophy presentation. Alex Singleton getting his hands on the football that wrapped it up.
The 100
coming out after their post-game session with the head coach to come out and accept the West Division trophy. So Ottawa and Calgary in the Grey Cup, 24-14, 27-3, the scores in the back-to-back wins. And we're ready for the presentation, so let's head down to the podium, and here's James Duthie.
All right, thank you, Chris. This has become almost an annual event in this city. The presentation of the CFL Western Division Trophy to your Calgary Stampeders. To make the presentation today, a man who spent 10 of his 14 CFL years on the line in Calgary, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Grey Cup champion, and a Canadian Football Hall of Famer, Rocco Romano.
Thanks, James. Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, CFL fans. At this time, I would like to ask you to join me in congratulating the 2018 Western Division champs, the Calgary Stampeders. At this time, it gives me very great pleasure to present the West Division Trophy to Coach Dave Dickinson, his team, the coaching staff, the Calgary Stampeder organization, and all you fans. Congratulations. We'll see you all next week in Edmonton for the 106th Grey Cup. Thank you.
Let's go finish it, baby. Let's go.
Coach, getting to the Grey Cup out of this division is never easy, although your Stamps have made it look easy sometimes. But I know this year, the end of this year, and particularly today, was a real battle, a real grind. What does this mean to you and your team?
Well, you know what? I know a lot of Canada is tired of seeing the Calgary Stampeders in the Grey Cup, but tough luck, because we're bringing our act to Edmonton. We're going to show up. We're bringing it this year. We got a great opponent, but proud of our guys.
You are going to face a week of questions about finishing the job this time after the last 2 years, but I think we owe you one night to celebrate this and the achievement of getting to 3 straight Grey Cup games. How has this team, this franchise, been so consistently great the last few years?
We got great fans, great city. This city's looking for something like this, and we're going to try to provide that spark, people. Trust us. We're bringing our best. We're ready to play again. We're looking forward to the challenge against Ottawa.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you.
Dave Dickinson, the coach of the Western Division champions for the 3rd straight year, the Calgary Stampeders. We'll see you in Edmonton.